Hello, everybody, and welcome to, of course, the pre-open market open stream. I hope all of you guys are having a great day, great morning, great afternoon, or a great evening if you're here in Aussie land or New Zealand land. It's late over here, guys, believe me. Look, yesterday, can anyone say biotech, but bio? Thank you very much. Biotech coming in very strong. Look, excellent day, obviously, for the day traders as well. We did talk about that 15,200, 180 level, and that level was smashed in about 5 minutes into the market. And what happened then? Just massive runs. So it's been great day trading. I still look, a lot of people getting into me a little bit yesterday about the fact that it's gone so bullish. Look, the 50 exponential, we knew that was a key level for the SP 500. I understand it's frustrating, but there's been some good trades here. We've got Tesla going strong at this point. Will it continue to hold up? Hopefully it does. We've got some great data coming through today as well. I want to bring in some Algo data, start discussing that. People in the community obviously can get access to that data. And look, it's one of those times where I guess you're looking at a market and what's the price action telling us currently? The big bull is here. We've got Jackson Hole, symposium. We've got trend lines coming in. I mean, what are you guys thinking? Are you all excited in the market, or are you still feeling a little bit bearish? Let me know. I always say, put your opinion at the door. You can use all the actionable data you want, but at the end of the day, if the price action isn't agreeing with it, there's nothing much you can do. Let's get into the analysis. Let's do it. Let's get into this analysis. So US 100 down a little bit off where it was before. It was up about 0.47, I think, earlier today. Let's actually measure this. How much was it up? It was up about 0.4-ish, and then it's come down a little bit into the pre-market open. We're sitting at flat as attack, 0.04, 0.05, 0.03. Let's scroll down to a couple of the stocks that were notable yesterday. So some of those were ENPH. ENPH really, really strong. This was a request from the private community. A few people were asking about this. I did alert people to this on the Monday session that we did there. I think we discussed it in quite a lot of depth. Now, ENPH is one of those buy the rumor, potentially sell the fact kind of stocks. I mean, obviously, it doesn't matter where we're not talking about vaccines, really. All we're talking about is how the market's been interpreting these types of stocks. We've seen mRNA, we've seen Pfizer go very strong. This one is a massive inverse head and shoulders as well, which could point to some serious moves up to this 320, 325 kind of range. So does it keep going? As long as it gets approved, as long as it goes through the EU zone, there is some strong breakouts that can occur here. You'll notice it's up 0.45. We've got a 260 kind of bracket here that we're looking for a close on. Once that occurs, it's bounced off the roll reversal. That's why we talked about it earlier in the week. Big movement here, obviously very good level. And this is the type of thing that you look for, guys. You've got a great structural range. You break out, you pull back, you create more structural range. And guess what? If you get through this zone, what happens? The next level of participation occurs. So look at the news around this. Look at when the announcements are going to occur. Obviously, if a biotech company is running in to the announcement, I'll let the chat answer this one. In general, what should you be doing if a biotech company jumps into an announcement or into a specific date? Do you hold it? Do you scale it? Or do you potentially sell it? Let me know in the chat. Let's see how many of you guys have been listening recently about that. I'd be very interested to see what you guys think. So yes, very good. PK Summon says, I'm always bearish, but I have one foot in the door and the other getting ready to run. Does that mean you're day trading, PK? Because there's nothing wrong with day trading at this moment. There's been some really good ones. So yesterday as well, we had that going on. Let's scroll down to the 1 hour so we can better understand some of the things that happened. Let's go to the market open. So we obviously do into the market open. This is where we were. We saw that very quick kind of closure above this point here. So we saw that weakness. We get through the 5180, close above, and the rest was history, a massive bull run. Now, would I have thought it went all the way to 15,385 after the market in the futures? Probably not. For me, somewhere around this 15.3 was pretty good take profit in the take profit game, but overall very, very good, and that was spectacular. So will we have a bit of a pullback? That's what I'm thinking today. Maybe a little bit of weakness, kind of have a 2 steps forward, 1 step back kind of approach, maybe get underneath this 15.3. I think that's going to be a key zone for you to look at today, guys. 15,300. And if it does get under there, we've got a few different points. We've got the 20 moving average on a few different time frames. We'll go to the 4 hour. So you've got the 4 hour one right at the roll reversal. I expect big bulls to be here. We'll look at the algo data in a second so I can show you what I mean by this, but there'll be bulls around this zone, you would think, if it did occur. Hopefully it doesn't for many of you. Got the 1 hour, 20 just being hit now in the pre-market. So you can see how this is going to be the war zone. And if you're looking for buys very, very early here in the session, you're really looking for small, like 1 minute, 5 minute turnarounds around this area. So around this 15,300 area is where you're looking for the bulls to get back in control, because you don't want it underneath here because we know market structure started forming around there. So we've got very thin structure. We've got very bullish case yesterday, and the algo flow that we'll be doing later in this session. I think you guys are going to enjoy that quite a lot. Pagoli says, I think the market will be correcting very soon. The market tends to have these massive bull runs, like big, huge, giant candles before it does go into correction. Check out before the pandemic last year. The pandemic crash anyway. Check out before 18. You do get some stocks having massive rallies in them. But again, look, there's still opportunity here. There's day trades, there's scalps. And really, I guess where I'm coming from, and I don't want anyone to be scared, I'm optimistic on the market, guys. If I came back in 4 years' time or 3 years' time or 2 years' time and you were buying the Nasdaq, do I think it's going to be down? No, I think it's going to be way more percentage points higher. All right. That's my personal opinion. It's not advice. It's my opinion. So I am not negative on the markets, guys, overall. My thought process is that the market likes to play funny buggers with us. And when it does those types of things, there are times when I just shut down a little bit from the investment side and I look more for the day trade side. And that's what I was trying to talk about for the last month. Does that make sense? Some stocks are still good. I mean, we've had biotech coming in, all these things. But yeah, that's what we're going for here. All right, let's continue. People said sell, scale, scale out, scale. Yes, you guys absolutely correct. It's a buy the rumor, sell the event. This goes back to the NVAX thing. You would be looking to scale out ahead of the announcement. Now, you get the best of both worlds there because you get that initial rally. You can scale out with whatever your scaling technique is, whether it's half of the order, 3/4 of the order, whatever. And then if it comes out and it goes up 300%, you think, well, you're still in a little bit. And if it goes down 50% or 80%, then you're like, oh, well, I took most of it out. You get the best of both worlds. And what does that do? It's not even about what it does for that trade. It's what it does for the rest of your trades, guys. It's what it does for the next trade that you take. Will you revenge trade? How many of you guys have made the wrong decision, sold a stock, it's gone up 50%. One of your friends has called you, dude, did you sell? And you're like, yeah. And he's like, you suck, man. Are you a loser or what? And then all of a sudden, 2 days later, you've lost a bunch of money in your account because you're trying to make up to what you perceive they've done. How many of you have done that? Put your hands up. It's nothing, no shame. No shame in that. We've all done it before. We'll keep going through the markets here. So we've got a bit of a pullback, 15.3, a level of key interest this morning here for the Nasdaq. US 500, where is the interest there? Let's go to the daily. Don't know exactly for the US 500. A little bit more convoluted. Go to the 4 hour. Probably around here, 4455. We'll pull up some data soon to try to get an understanding of where it might be. But yeah, these types of pullback zones are more interesting for the swing-based trader or even the day trader. You don't want to sell down to here because it's not highly statistical. But at these points, you want to be looking for long opportunities, lightning bolts, that type of thing. We'll keep going through. IWM in the middle of nowhere land. You can see 0.22% today. Middle of nowhere land makes it very, very tough to trade. So that's not really that great. We'll move over to Tesla. Now, Tesla, I would actually quite like Tesla to come down. And I like specifically these zones. So yesterday's action was good. We talked about it. Let's just talk about some of the data. This is not the data I want. There it is. So the algo flow was really, really good. And members of the private community, remember, you can manually get this data in our Discord room. So if you ever want it for any stock you want on the US market, you can get it. And if anyone's interested in joining the private community, you get a 7-day free trial over at fxevolution.com. But this is a paid service. I pay for it for the room. But overall, it's cool to have these stats. So you can see here the green line, and that really shows you what the nasty Wall Street algorithms are doing. All right. So the nasty Wall Street algorithms are going very strong, and so is price. Price and the algorithms are doing the same thing, an important factor. What you don't want to see is where price and the algorithms are doing a different thing. And I'll show you an example of that with Intel yesterday. So let me bring that up right now. Now, have a look at Intel on your charts, and what you'll notice is that Intel hits a resistance area. So it makes a big run up, hits a resistance area, price holds around that zone, sucking in the retail traders, yet the algo flow almost goes negative by the end of the day. And that's something that you really want to be paying attention to when you look at these charts. So let's go over here. Let's bring up INTC, old Intel. And what you'll notice is look how it hits this resistance. Go out here to the daily time frame. See this? Support, resistance, daily 20. Does it make sense that the nasty algorithm would stop there? Absolutely. If the algorithm continued to ramp with price, that would be incredibly bullish. So this is how you can see really what they're doing. They're leaving other people to hold the bag as they sell it off. Now, if it closes above this zone, what do you want to have coming with you? The algorithm coming with the close. You don't want the algorithm dropping off and the close is happening. Could be fake market breakout. But if the algo trades are coming with it, a stronger indicator that it's a successful looking TA. Remember, TA is the king. All we're doing is supplementing that TA, supplementing it. How long is the time period for the algo flow? Just for the day, for the previous day, David. There are ways to get bigger information, but that's what you're looking for that day. You can see here where it starts and where it ends. So that's the one you're looking at. All right, let's go back to Tesla. So Tesla, I would actually really like to see a bounce off this zone. 697, 698. That's the key level to be watching for today, I feel, for Tesla traders. If it pulls back to this zone, you want to get down and dirty in the small time frames. 5 minute, 1 minute, 15 minute. Look for your key turnaround criteria if you're a day trader or a scalper. You want to get in there, have a look at it, and make sure that this level is holding, because you can see how good it is. Previous resistances, previous supports, previous resistances, breach. No doubt it's a breach. Pull back. Can we get that pull up? What do you guys think about Tesla? You bullish on Tesla today? Give us bulls or bears in the chat right now for this thing. Hobson says, where do you get the algo data? Well, the algo data comes from that service, as I said, but you can get it as part of the private community. If you want 7 days, you can just jump in, get 7 days for free, and at least give it a shot, man. Why not? Why not give it a crack? Then we got Shushmit Roy Chowdhury. Now, I'm sure I absolutely mispronounced your name, but thank you very much for becoming a new member. Welcome to the community, and great to have you here. So that is awesome. Ian Buell says algo for QQQ. Now, that's where things get really strange yesterday for the QQQ. I'll show you this. I'll bring it up right now. Let me request it for you. I'll just show you the NVAX one as well, so you can see that algo flow coming along with price. And then let me just grab here the algo flow for QQQ, because it was strange. It was strange. Let me show you. QQQ, I'll request it now. All right, here we go. So the algo flow actually wasn't positive to the price. So you can see here the price movement up, but the algo flow was actually relatively negative. So this could be, if you look at the COT data recently, Wall Street actually, they're still net long. I mean, they're always going to be net long. The hedge funds are still mostly net long, but they are reducing some positions. And the repo market, or the reverse repo market, is actually increasing, which shows kind of like cash sitting on the sidelines. So it is contradictory to current price action, this particular algo data from yesterday. You can see what was happening here with the algo score. Not so good. Could that mean it's only retail's being left here and it could be a fake move out? Yeah, I wouldn't read into it as much, but that is this type of thing. If I saw this price action in a stock, then I would certainly be less inclined to be as bullish on it. Okay, that's just the way I feel about these types of things. But I'd want to see it stacking for a couple of days. So we'll probably find out today in today's session how this looks, and I will share it with you tomorrow on the video. So I'll share this one through. Absolutely, I will. Back to Tesla again, all about that 700, 698 zone. I think it's looking really interesting. What I wish for Tesla is that, look, I got no doubt they're in front on the cars. I got no doubt they're going to sell tons of cars. I've got no doubt that they've got the best taxi style AI out there. This whole new thing with the humans, that's going to be, or the human robots, that's going to be a little while away. So I'd love to see Tesla start transitioning from a fundamental perspective. I feel like the technicals here are holding up. You know where it goes really bearish. I mean, guys, this trend line is going to be the key here. If it gets underneath, you know where it goes really bearish and you know where it goes really bullish. These are the two key zones, absolute key zones. We're in the middle of that with tradable opportunities, okay? But if it gets under or above either of these zones, I feel like it's on for Tesla. What do you guys think? Do you reckon these are the levels? It makes sense to me that these are the levels. If we go over to a weekly, you'll see what I mean. I'm finding it difficult to understand exactly how much it's really worth, but that's always been the way. EBITDA or DA could be used to potentially track Tesla, or it could have been used. PS can be used on some companies. This one is more about if you want to buy it and you believe in the tech, then you're buying for the long hold. If you want to trade it, it's all about the key levels. It's a very different thing. I do like this trend line though. And if it breaks underneath, I feel bad things coming for it. If it goes above, great things coming for it. Let's go with that. Let's go with that. So many things to really cover here. All right, so market's coming down a little bit more, 0.08 now. Bitcoin, 49,158. Let's quickly just have a look here at the crypto market. Looks like a blip on the weekly. Let's quickly scroll down here. Key level for crypto traders to be watching. I've neglected you guys recently, even though you've been making lots of money. You've got 20 moving average here, 2,200 daily. Pull back to this zone. You will know when it happens because it'll be underneath this area here. So 48 is the first support that I see. Underneath 48, the second support is around this 46. And 46 should be a mega zone to watch. I would like to go into smaller timeframes here, look for reversal signals. This is a mega watch area because you've made a new peak now. So a pullback is totally fine. You've got a daily 200 and a 20 intersecting with each other. And if the crypto market does pull back to this level first and doesn't bounce, if it closes underneath here, the next participation for the nasty sellers would be 46,000. And all I would be doing with Bitcoin right now is literally just looking for, BTC short, wait, what is it? BTC space shorts. All right. Yep. There we go. So I would just be looking to see whether there's any whale positions dumping into selling it through. We had that a few times, and every time the whales had a crack at Bitcoin, they didn't lose. So just have a look here and be careful if you start seeing this rising. Okay. That's the only concern over this bull run that I have. Other than the big whales coming in, I feel like Bitcoin is really in a great place, and so is crypto coming into the end of the year. So I'm watching this chart. I've got little alerts. I've got alerts set here just above. And if you do start to see the whales starting to mount short positions again, then we've got to be careful. But for now, it's just standard swing trades. Pullbacks to these zones, look for opportunity. Look for opportunity. Again, thank you as well to the new member coming through. Appreciate that. Just quickly reading some of your questions here. Chris says, auto car taxi AIs isn't like Qantas having a plane crash. Yeah, true. One car that crashes, share price will tank. Yeah, absolutely, Chris. Absolutely. It is partly that. Look, I look at Tesla more as great trade opportunities than a long-term kind of thing. I guess I own it through funds. But overall, hey, you know, in some ways it's better than I think an airplane company because they're more across everything. And I see it as an AI play anyway. For me, it's all about AI. This whole decade is really three major things. I've got the big bio and health. I've got just the general tech, especially what I love, cybersecurity. And then I've got the AI technology. Now, some people would say, but Tom, space. Well, unfortunately for me, I have to cross space out because I think space is cool, but I also think space is too early. That goes into the same category as 3D printers, as cannabis, as all these things that were very, very popular and then unfortunately did not work out or didn't make as much profit yet. So I like all of these. This sector here makes me smile that because it's just so easy to see that. And innovation out of recessions, out of pandemics, out of crashes always does or tends to do really, really well. I've read a lot of papers on this. I went through the literature and I read all these papers that did all this research, and they found that overall innovation did spectacularly out of recessions, especially short-lived recessions. Global financial crisis, the pandemic, these types of things are good. If it's a Great Depression, innovation still is resilient, but you've got to be more particular about the ones that you pick. Because you do see a big decline there, of course, against everything. All right, let's have a look here. We've got Ulrich Nielsen, DKK, $50. Says Penn on the ASX bought in at 0.115 daily close above the 200 and the 20 EMA. Looking for the rockets on this one. What are your thoughts? And we'll check that out right now, sir. Thank you very much as well to the over 1,000 people tuning in this morning. Appreciate the likes, guys. Appreciate the support and the subscriptions. And, of course, the donations. It really does help us out here. Let's have a look at Penn ASX. So you bought the 0.115. Now, Ulrich, you love this stock way too much, bro. You're like in love with this stock, but you know this. You know this. Let's have a look at it, whether it's improving here. So I think there's actually a fair little trend line that you could draw between these ones. Let's have a look at the 4-hour. Okay, that's fair. You're right at the resistance here, which could bode well if it gets through. 2-hour. Yeah, I feel like you're right there. You're so close, man. You're so close. You know what's going on in this chart, though. You've looked at it enough. Now, for anyone that doesn't know, this company is puny. It's only $129 million in size. So you look, another daily close here would be excellent. Excellent. Daily close. Probably something else that we should look at. And then, of course, 16 is your next level, or just probably around 15.5. 15.5 is your next level, a decent percentage. But this should be the beginning of repair. So that could be quite nice. Let's move over to US oil. Have a look at that. Now, this is a substantial close here that's occurring. As we cautioned yesterday, if you were thinking about taking a short, this was the key zone we were looking at. But we never just take a short here when it's running so hot. You've got to wait for the turn. We didn't see a turn, and oil continues to run hot. So next level, where is it? It's not probably 68. Probably here. 68, daily 20. Ooh, tough on oil. Black gold, not giving us a great zone. After this close occurs, my favorite trade here would actually be this. The long. See how fast things switch for a trader's mind? I told you I have absolutely no bias on oil. I don't particularly care whether it goes long, short, sideways, anywhere. We trade it long sometimes. We trade it short sometimes. Who cares? When you're a trader, especially in black gold, it doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. I actually now like the pickup long here. I would specifically like it to come back to 65 and then get a smaller time frame light bolt, smaller time frame double bottom, smaller time frame, something to support it at this zone. And I would think that's a very strong style trade. Clearly is through. Look at that 2-hour. Wouldn't that be beautiful? Just like a boom, bang, 2050 sitting there, previous support. Yeah, that'd be nice. Probably a nice fib as well off the pullback. It won't just continuously run forever. I mean, it will have pullbacks, but now you're starting to talk about the bull game rather than the bear game. That's how fast things change, though. The bull game comes in, then you've got, you've also even got the potential to go bearish again, but you know where the key levels are as a TA, expert or analyst or whatever you want to call it, because underneath 65 again, then you start looking for the shorts. You're only biased towards key levels. Once you recognize a key level is broken, you start to get biased towards the next most logical participation area. So good stuff here for US gold, US oil. It is moving up quite a lot. Very good. Let's move over to Alec's question here. Alec Diefenbach, $6.90. But Tom, what about green stocks and green finance? Do you think there's substantial technologies like renewable energy and low emission tech? Absolutely, there is. However, I don't quite get which one wins. So I've bought ENPH several times. We will talk about ENPH today throughout the stream. In fact, let's do it now. So ENPH, I bought this one this week, actually. I talked about it yesterday on the stream. I do think that there is potential in this sector. It's one of those sectors, it's kind of like biotech. It's hard to pick one stock that wins. You might be able to go and say, okay, I think PayPal and Square are the two leaders in fintech, and I like fintech, and I'm going to buy both of them. Or I'm just going to buy Square because I think that's got the better fundamentals. Or you might go and have a look at cybersecurity and say, I'm only going to hold Crowd and Net, and that's it. Much easier to pick winners there. Picking a winner in this renewable space, at least for me, very tough. I don't know which one's going to win. I really don't. Now, if you do, cool. Well done to you. So a lot of people will buy exchange traded funds based in the area, or it becomes harder for you to invest. ENPH, I still like this into the 175. Previous resistances, we broke below, hit the daily 200. If we go down to the 2 hour, you'll see some trades that started occurring yesterday. You've got basically a series. This is the closure that I thought was pretty good. I did talk about this. So this is the closure I liked. We formed a base. We had wicks all over the place, and then we closed above it. Now, I like that specifically. That's a good scale. Then we get a long leg doji on the 2 hour here. Decision made. Further opportunity potentially to scale. And then we're looking for, of course, that 175 to 178 kind of level to potentially scale out here. Maybe leave some on the table if we're getting bullish on the market. Another thing you want to do with ENPH is you want to go and look at things like TAN. So how's TAN looking? Double bottom here as well. This is the entire or most of the solar ETF. Good little cross check for you to do to go and have a look at the sector, have a look at the index and see how it's looking. Again, key level of support, double bottom base yesterday, bounced up, 84, kind of like a key resistance. You can see here previous kind of support becoming resistance zone, moving average here as well. This becomes that kind of day tradable opportunity. Now, whether you take that with an option, whether you take that with a stock, whether you take that with a credit, you could do a lot of different ways. So it plays, the same strategy can play out 4 different times or 4 different ways, depending on how you want to take it. I like solar. I like this stuff. I don't know which one is going to be the winner. If you do, send me a report and I'll share it with the community, and maybe some people will like it and pick those things up. Maybe you think that'll happen. Matthew Harris, thank you very much. Australian $10, my man. Recently, the traditional media is really bullish, but the overall sentiment is bearish. Do you think Wall Street needs to change their hype tactics because retailers are getting bigger brains? Hit the like. I do definitely think the retail community is getting smarter and smarter and smarter by the day. I've never seen, and I tell you this, when I came in trading in 2008, the data available for retail traders outside of Bloomberg Terminal was negligible, outside of a few very particular websites. In the last 2 years, specifically last year and a half, the amount of stuff you guys can get amazes me. I mean, I've had Bloomberg terminals in the past. It's like looking at a crazy thing. Like, it's just like stuff spamming everywhere, news spamming everywhere, reports flying at you. Has anyone out there seen a Bloomberg terminal before? Let me know in the comments. Have you seen a Bloomberg terminal? You'll know what I'm saying. It's so much information to interpret. A lot of people would just use analyst report cards. So they would just say, okay, what do all the analysts think together? I used to do this. I used to look at my TA. I'd say, okay, double bottom. What's the analyst report? The analyst report for the average on Reuters and Bloomberg and all these things, next 12 months, their expectation is, let's say, $90. I'm getting it at 80. I think the TA is strong. They think it's 90, and I still use this to a degree. That gives me an extra bullish piece of data. Now, I don't know how they come to that number. Obviously, I'll try to get rid of the outliers that haven't been looking at the stock for a while. But when you take, like, let's say the last 10 or the last 15 analyst upgrades or downgrades on the stock, and you figure out what they're doing, they're meant to be paid big bucks to figure out the fundamentals. I know they're often wrong, but if you're seeing a technical charge and it's underpriced, I always went with the idea that they will go back to their clients and they'll say, hey, Jeremy, our analyst just recently upgraded this stock. Did you know it's 20% different from current price, man? That's an opportunity of 20%. What do you think, Jeremy? And he's like, I love 20%. And he's like, yeah, here's the document. Here's what they said. Look, it says 20% extra. And Jeremy's like, oh yeah, baby, 1 million. Let's go. That's actually how easy it is for a lot of these guys, because they are basically salespeople. And then it pumps into that level. That's what actually happened. Nowadays, you guys have algo flow. You've got options heat maps. You've got flow spreads. I mean, half of it's in our Discord community. You get so much information, which means that, yes, I do believe the retail community is getting bigger brains. And the changing hype tactics will be there. But ultimately, one thing I've noticed throughout talking to millions, well, not millions, but thousands of traders over the last 10 years is that almost everyone makes the same mistakes. Everyone starts at 1 minute, 5 minute, 15-minute charts. Everyone finds leverage and then makes tons of mistakes using leverage. Everybody basically makes very similar mistakes. So what you can do is elevate yourself above that. And when you do that, scaling, looking after your trades, practicing risk management, then you can use all this data to be more successful. They may change it, but we'll see how that goes. Robert Galindo, $5. Join the dark side. CLEU. It's a micro cap, low float Chinese education stonk that has been pumping for a few days. And then you've got kind of like a sad looking face, man. Like a CLEU. What is this thing? Wow. Are you sure it's even? So it's worth $17.41 million. Hey, it had a nice pattern on it. I like your pattern, sir. That's cool. Little double bottom down here. We will talk about Barber soon. Kind of feel like it hit your level though, bro. So 210 into 3, just underneath 3. Perfect. Previous support becomes resistance. You're looking for a closure above here to allow the next zone to open up, which will be about 350. So I wish you all the best, but I do feel like the glorious run, which happened from here to here, is the big bit. And then the second big bit is if it closes above to the 350. Good luck, and thank you very much for the donation. I'm not sure if I'll join you on the dark side here, but maybe somebody else will. Yep, we've got tan. We used it before. Finkin79 says, "Oh, OMG, don't chase that." Yeah. It's a fun one. But look at the double bottom, guys. Look at the double bottom. Wasn't it beautiful? It just moves so quickly. All right, we've got a couple other super chats, and then we'll get back into the action. Anoop Sonpar, $5 Singapore. Thank you very much. Hi, Tom. Is Tencent going through Wyckoff accumulation? Ooh, nice, dude. Let's have a look. We'll have a look at I like this company quite a lot. They're like a dominator in the game space. And I understand games, and I'm very impressed by their acquisitions over the last couple of years. Oh, you could be, bro. Could be. I mean, it's definitely a channel. Got nice lows. Got a slight kind of little false breakout here on the daily. Now, remember, this is the one on the Hong Kong exchange. Wouldn't you love it above here? One to watch for sure. And I've been watching Tencent anyway, because this is one of those stocks that I feel like it's just, a dominator. I feel quite secure in this type of stock. I mean, you're getting a 417. It's been as high as 779. You're getting 2017 price. I know that's not as cheap as Barber, but I really like this stock. Rejections here, very good. 1 month. Nice. Strong rejection. Looking for the monthly close here could be good as well. I mean, imagine if the monthly close was up around this level. Bullish hammer. You got double rejections. Beautiful level. 50 exponential. Previous buy price. See that? 50 exponential. So if it is Wyckoff, what you're looking for here is pretty much kind of this. Maybe a little pullback. Movement up. Rally around here or underneath, like some market structure like that, and then an explosive move. And you're looking for a 572. I don't mind it. 525 first take, 572. Good company. Unfortunately, geopolitical stuff getting in the way of a good company. I like it. Yeah. Look at the PS ratio on it. Look at a few things. Might be worth checking out. I'll bring up Tencent as one that I'll chuck in here. There we go. Cool. Nice one. Thank you, Anoop. I like you. Francis Egan says 10 cent looks like an amazing chart to me. Hey, I can't disagree with you, Francis. I'm loving it too. I'm loving it too. If it wasn't for the geopolitical side of things, you'd be looking at that. If that was like an American stock right now, and let's say it was an Apple or a Google or an Amazon, you would be sitting there going, whoa, I've got the plan, I've got the reason, and now I'm ready to figure out how am I going to interpret the way I want to trade it. Do I want to use options? Do I want to trade a stock? Do I want to use a leverage position? Blah, blah, blah. Yeah, it's a solid channel. I mean, it's a channel. Ulrich Nielsen, DKK $50. Barber bought at 155. Man, Ulrich, do you love buying things at serious falling knife levels? I think that you're like one of those deep value investors. But I want to know, Ulrich, and you're a big supporter of the channel. I want to know, do you do like dollar cost averaging down to these levels or something? I feel like that's the way you're kind of trading it. We're going back into the bottom of the trend line. So we broke through, and I wanted to bring up Barber anyway. It's big rally today. Previous trend line, we can see it busted, and then that's led to a big sell-off. We've got huge volumes coming in here, which does show Wall Street could be interested in taking some risk off here. Remember, the articles all last week, what were they saying? Let us know in the chat. What did every article tell you last week? It was something. We'll see if you guys have been picking up on it. Back into the trend line. I feel like it trades something like this. And then if it does that, guess what that is, guys? A lightning bolt. Yeah. There is deep value here if you can get past the geopolitical side. Let's see how Ulrich even picked this up. 155. Okay. Previous little support here. Fair enough, sir. I mean, it's definitely a stab in the dark, but okay. You said Barber bought 155. Was that global support level at a 50% pullback? Fair enough. Eyeing 180 short term and a potential 50% retrace to the 230 area. Hashtag no fear. Let's have a look at the algo flow for Barber. All right, why not? TR, I know it's good. Algo flow, I'm pretty sure it is good anyway. Sneaky Wall Street algorithms buying up the Barber yesterday. Look at those sneaky algorithms. So they came in pretty strong here near the close. Some good buying. Another thing, let's have a look. I'll show you this. Just grabbing this data for you. One second, guys. Here we go. So look at these strikes. Look at where the put base is. What do we always talk about put bases? All of a sudden, people go all net negative. It puts a base under the stock. So you've got here 150s, 155s expiring, and a 160 with the 12.61 million. So I kind of feel like it goes like this. Goes up, comes down a little bit, expires, and then hopefully rallies again, and you get a lightning bolt. And what I want to see, if that does occur, is the puts continue to be stacked for the next couple of weeks. So I want all these puts to increase. Overall, lots of net negatives is what we want here. Lots of puts putting in the base. But yes, 150, 155 looks like it's a nice put base at this stage for the barbers. Yeah, I feel like that makes a lot of sense actually. Be pretty cool if it occurred. Good luck, sir. And your take profits are okay. So 180 would be a decent target. I think the bottom trend line is something I'd be looking at. And then the next level is obviously 180, 200, and then overall 230. You are correct. But I think if it gets back up above 200, it's really on for Barber. The sentiment's changed. Everything's changed there. Welcome to the 1,171 viewers. Thank you very much for joining us. I know we're a little bit less than 20 minutes away from the open, so we'll continue doing as much analysis as we could. Terry M says, we're in the same boat, Barber, the Barber boat, Ulrich. You guys are crazy, man. Look at this. Seattle Bush says, almost bought Barber calls yesterday. And then Nick Blake says, OTC, just so frustrating to trade. Yeah, that's true. That is true. I'm not sure about chasing this one. Bit danger. Jason K says JD chart looks 100 times more healthy than Barber, Baidu, etc. That's correct. JD actually has a good support on it. And when you look at the stock yesterday, it was one of the better ones. Look at this. Very nice. And look at the pre-market today. It deserves to be up a lot more than the others. That's the chart you want. That's the chart you want. Let me pull up this. Nothing super big. The put wall, not huge, around 62, 65 for JD. But great trade yesterday. Big follow through. Look at that rejection. By the end of the day, this is one that I certainly would have thought about a call on, just purely because you're getting a huge rejection. You've got decent base, and then it's coming into the resistance this morning. So you'd be very happy with your 8.44% on the open. Probably clip it off, say thank you very much, and then go on to the next one. That's not bad at all, guys. That's not bad at all. All right, let's keep going through some ones happening right now. So let's have a look at Roku. How's Roku looking? Very close to looking better. Not quite yet. Nice kind of follow through. Still struggling around this daily 200. What we need now is pretty much this. Actually, is that a long leg doji? Long leg doji. So I wouldn't mind it to come down a little bit here, pull up, close above, and then we can finally get into some Roku positions. Still struggling to find great direction here. Let's have a look at the weekly. Big weekly long leg doji. That's the one I probably prefer. Closure above here as well. Very good sign for Roku. So there is a bigger picture here. Remember, when you're talking about a stock that's gotten smashed this much, I mean, this thing's down 31%. It's not that sad to give up a couple of percent to make sure that your technicals are more sound. So I don't mind the Roku. Let's have a look at pins. Still nothing here, I don't think. 0.86, not enough. TWLO, pretty good. Let's have a look at the Algo flow was with us yesterday. Bring that up for you. Yep, Algo flow was good. Exactly in line with the stock itself. Pretty thin amount of Algo trade, it looks like, though. So Twilio looking relatively good. Go over to PayPal quickly, because that was one we discussed yesterday. Obviously hasn't triggered yet. We're looking for PayPal above the 281 closure. That happens, we get through all these moving averages. Things are looking really great. I want to reiterate, it's more about waiting for the confirmation closes or waiting for that roll, that movement through, so you can start scaling into an order. And this is the key zone that I'm looking for in PayPal. It's not here. I don't like it here. I like it if it closes above. So continue to check that out. Donation coming in here from David S. says $4.99. Thank you very much, David S. What happened to NLS? Cash Rich. Nautilus Inc. Oh, it's nasty. Well, firstly, very small company. Got through 14, kind of like a falling knife. Unfortunately, we'll have to put them in the chat. So at previous little levels of support, not really great zone. If they're cash rich, there's something other going on with it. Kind of reminds me of this stock like Karoon. There's a stock in Australia called Karoon. It's a gas company. They owned a gas, they were in exploration, and they just overall never invested their money. They never did anything with their cash. So they actually fell off for years and years and years and years. I like this weekly 200 to a degree around this zone, but there's no really great levels here. You're going to need repair. You need lightning bolt. You need accumulation to start to occur. You can't tell where this is going to stop just yet, unfortunately, David. But at this stage, look for accumulation. Look for some of the things that we talk about. We've also got Monica Nakamura, $5 super sticker. Thank you very much, Monica. Always appreciate your support. Great to have you here. Welcome to the 1,200 viewers. Thanks for the likes, guys, and thanks for everything else. Appreciate it. All right, let's go through a few other things. Let's have a look here. Tom, ever since I'm following you, subconsciously register for all the supports or so many stocks, I'm grinding back to where I was when I started financially because, of course, I lost a lot of cash. Look, that's awesome to hear, man. I hope you're practicing scaling. I hope you're practicing really thinking less FOMO, more thinking about what you're doing, because this isn't just getting $1 million in a day. I mean, you'll hear about it, but how many people drop it after making $1 million? How many people actually make $1 million, drop it all the next couple of weeks because they made it the wrong way, and then they're bust sitting on the street? There's some like pit movie that happened a few years ago on YouTube. It's pretty cool. And it shows you all these guys that were making huge money during the 90s and 80s in the pits in Chicago. And they're all like bust today. And you know why they're bust? Because they were basically salespeople. They would sell the paper to other people, and they lived an exceptionally crazy lifestyle. And that's what you don't want to do. You want to try to build it over time. Some of the best strategies are boring, e.g. creating credit off options with risk management. Boring, but substantially like good at doing it for a long time. That's actually what I mostly do. Why? Because I don't have to think about it. It's less doing anything for the reward that you get. Thank you for being a supporter, though. We will check out gold in just a few seconds. Urban Elemental, don't worry. And then we've got Sayo, $7.50. Hi, Tom. Thoughts on TGT and their TA outlook of them hitting and staying above 260 mid-October? Sounds like some kind of maybe option position you're looking for here. Hitting and staying above 260. Oh, wow. Very extended, isn't it? So correct me if I'm wrong. Target should just be in America, same as it is in Australia, or pretty much just department store, yeah, that sells stuff. Correct? Department store sells stuff, Walmarty, but smaller, like a Best Buy kind of thing. Sells clothes and things like that. If it's the same as Australia, I don't particularly trade this type of stock. When I go to consumer discretionary in these kind of things, I usually hold the Australian ones. But I'm pretty sure that's what Target is still. I don't think they've changed their business model. Look, weekly 20 does make sense for it to get back to, unfortunately, but it is in a great trend. Great trend. The only problem you've got is that the recent price action isn't great. So see here, it actually was holding kind of around this 20 as well as it could. Then it dumped underneath it, dumped underneath the 50 recently. It's rallied. But then this is the point where you find weakness coming back into a stock like this. I'm not saying it's over. I just think that it's not exceptional TA for strength. The weekly, still great. I could see it doing this. over until October. That type of thing, man. That's what I could see it doing. Have a look at the seasonal on Target. It's a boomer company. It's been around a long time. Check out the seasonal. I will actually get you the seasonal now. Let me get it. TGT. All right. So these tend to be the stronger months and the weaker months of the year for you. So basically, again, taken from the Algo free 7-day trial if you're interested in getting this Algo plus the other things that we offer in the community. July, August, September, October tend to be okay for it seasonally. And then November, December tend to be percentage weakness months. Interesting. So this is where you hope it does hold. October, usually a positive win rate month for this stock. So is September, so is August. It's defensive style stock as well. Probably more of a stapley kind of position. So yeah, I think if it does go to the weekly 20, should still pick up. Just be careful around this level here. I wouldn't trade it. But if you're in it and there's a reason, then it's right around that level. Shane K says Cardano will hit $10. Yeah, eventually maybe. What's $10? So $3 is what, 110 billion. So $10 is about 300. So you're basically saying it's going to Ethereum cap. It's possible. It's possible. I don't think very quickly though. But prove me wrong. That'd be cool. Ulrich Nielsen, DKK $50. Path. If you had at least, if you look at the last 5 days, it looks as if someone is trying their best to hold Path down. Maybe more accumulating. I feel it wants to explode. Well, if it wants to explode, it'll have a lot of rejection style candles on it. So the weekly overall doesn't look impressive. Let's have a look at the daily. Daily does look like a lot of wick rejections. So you've got 1 wick rejection, 2 wick rejections, 3 wick rejections, 4 wick rejections. If you close above those, then it explodes. This is one where if you get an alert, let's say you have an alert set, 62, which is where this particular bar must be. So I must have had it up for someone else, maybe yourself, Ulrich. If it closes above this zone, so you set an alert, you go away, you come back, you get your phone, you're like, alert path, and it's getting close to the end of the day, you might want to go and have a quick look and see where it's closing. Because if it is closing above this zone, this is one where you probably can't wait until the next open. It's one of those explosive types moves. So I do agree with you. It's an interesting level, 62, 20 moving average daily, and multiple rejections. Takes out stop losses here to the short, squeezes them through, moves to the next participation phase. Could be good, Ulrich. Could be Ulrich. Ready DNA says, I love ADA, but I think it goes $8. Everyone is saying $10. That's sketch. Look, it's like saying 500,000 right now for Bitcoin. It can't happen. Not without the super funds buying hard. The 401ks in America. That's what forces it through. That's what gets it up there, guys. Ben W, $5. Tom, what do you see in Tesco? And this is a UK stock supermarket. London stock, not tractor supply. Yeah, I know. The US ticker is TS. Let's have a look at the US ticker. TSCDF. It's a bit uglier though, wasn't it? Oh, no. OTC. This is the correct one, yeah? Oh, all down to the weekly. Good trading recently, hey? Nice buy here. Great consolidation. Buy, volume increases into the buy. Beautiful. Resistance, take profit. Closure above. Barely, but it does. Next level, 260. I'd love to see it accumulate a little bit here, man. Let that 20 follow up with it. It is a boomer stock after all. Accumulate here. Then break that accumulation or a double bottom or something around this zone. And if it gets past there and closes, you've got to think it's going 260. Yeah, still nice. Nothing wrong with it. Yeah. I like it about because it closed here, so it should structure up around this zone. I do like it. TGT is a monster. They had a really good numbers through the pandemic. TGT was the buy of the year, says Jimmy Bierry. Yeah, it's pretty good. I think there's better buys, but that wasn't too bad. Oh, and then I've got one that I missed here from Love Kumar. Don't worry, I got you, love. Canadian $5. I see Lightning Bolt on mRNA. Can you please take a look? Also, Barber happens to be number one on the hype equity. Yeah, I saw that. Everyone's loving Barber right now. JD still probably the cooler stock, but that was yesterday. I always find when Barber seems to be hype equitying, it doesn't seem to be following through like an AMD and a Tesla and those types of ones. Moderna looking a lot better here. That is a lightning bolt, trough, peak, higher peak coming through. Yeah, above 400. Expired every one of those options last week at 400 worthless, which we suspected. Probably worthwhile having a look at the options on Moderna. No one cares about it anymore, it seems, which is always a good sign for you to be more correct. Let me bring that up. For 2 minutes, we have to get into a few other stocks. mRNA. These are the expiries. So we've got 400, 4.55. That's down a lot from where it was. 1.53, 961, 7. Then very little, it looks like, for the next week, or very netted off 0. And then some bullish, bearish plays around 430, 450. So, yeah, it looks good. It looks decent. Down today at 400. I would look for small time frame lightning bolts, man. Go down to the 5 minute, 15 minutes, see how it interacts with the 400 today. And if it does turn around, you like it, there could be some potential there from that perspective. All right, guys, so we're about 2 minutes off the open. Let's scroll into a couple of stocks. We'll bring up Tesla. Obviously, you guys will want to watch that. We've got 0.67 up here on Tesla. Let's go through to the main attraction as well and have a quick look at a few other things. Let's go to the pre-market. So what have we got on the top end? We've got PANW as the top stock. CWC Crowd showing, wow, 5.41% this morning. Barber 4.96. JD also good. Roku up a little bit. And then on the negative side, we've got Moderna showing the most negativity. Around 400 will be the structure point for that. And yeah, there we go. So boom, boom, boom. We've opened up. US 500 finding some initial support here early. US 100, something we will watch. 15,000, what is this? 332. Support around 15,300. So if it does pick down here, small time frame, lightning bolt, small time frame, change of trends could be interesting. If it closes underneath 15.3, that could be triggering some selling into the middle session or early morning. So a lot of weird action. Fake market futures. Go the QQQ. So you see the QQQ level here, 373. So where the bears get control, around 373, would be the bottom end of that range. 374 currently. The futures were much higher than this before. Tesla coming 708. So let's keep scrolling through a few of these stocks. Snowflake back up at 281. Very nice. ENPH having another good day. I'm good with that. No problems with having some nice action on ENPH, showing at 174. Did that just hit? Let's have a look. Come on, baby. Just need that a little bit higher. That'd be nice. Edit down after having an 8% day yesterday. All the Chinese stocks up hard. JD, the best technical setup, showing the best gains. Straight into resistance, I feel, for JD. Let's just have a quick look at that together. as a community. You can see the line that we had drawn there. You can see why we've got it drawn there. Previous resistance. This would actually be an epic double bottom if it closes above. So there's the zone there around 73. Be careful on that. And let's go over to gold now and understand what's going on with gold. Where are we? Gold 1804. I still like this chart. 4-hour time frame. Really consolidating at this stage. Looking for ramp if it can do it. Resistance becomes support around 1795. So you need it to hold above that. Next take profit resistance zone about 1830. And dollar index will be the key. If DXY falls underneath this trend line and closes, you would have to think gold's going to go bullish. DXY, you'll want to sync that up with your gold analysis throughout today's session. Market's now fully flat. Gareth Evans says crypto is currently getting hammered. Yeah, I think crypto deserves a little bit of a pullback. We've got the key areas, though. We know exactly where they are. So we know previous resistance support zones. We got to watch that if you're a small kind of time frame. And then if you've got the bigger time frame, you're looking at a 46K. A 46K. Both really key zones here for Bitcoin. 46. BTC shorts, the only thing you've really got to worry about, if you do see a substantial sell-off, go look at what the whales are doing, guys. In the crypto market, the whales are Wall Street. The whales are Wall Street. Now, we have a few other requests here coming in from the room. And let me just see what they were. So one was for Catalan. Wanted us to have a look at CINE. Cineworld. Interesting. Oh, okay. Very consistent volume here. Go down to a 4-hour chart. This thing is worth $864 million. Certainly not loved at this stage. I don't mind this chart, actually. Let's go to the weekly. Wow, all over the place. It's a long leg doji fest, guys. It's a long leg indecision doji fest. Supports, resistances, dojis within dojis, within dojis, within dojis. This week you might have a decision. This is the first doji. I've never seen so many dojis. Well, I probably have, but that's a lot. You're looking for a closure above this week, Catalan. That is a doji fest. Another one was Sens. Nice breakout. Did you get this? Very nice. Like it a lot. Series of higher lows. I love that. That shows the commitment of the buyers coming through as it's nasty Wall Street sell-off. Beautiful buy there. I really like your yesterday trade if you got in on this one. That's great. Very cool level. What a beautiful close level buy. I know it might not be like an exceptional percentage. Like, I mean, what was the percentage here? Oh, not bad. 6%. Exceptional stuff. Next level, $4, you would think. But I love that. Worst case here, pull back, and then hopefully you get some buying pressure off the 337. Very nice. This is a $1.62 billion company. I'll watch it for you. Nice. And then we've got PFE coming from Jan. Nasty looking candles. Got to say that. Or Jan's bullish on PFE. I guess what do you guys think about this chart? Big amounts of sell-off here. Really big trend. Nasty look if it gets underneath 48. The hype's dying down. The weekly looks hideous. Can't say I'm a fan, Jan, of this one. PFE 48 must hold for you to be bright. He says FDA clearance and their targets for 54 to 90 in terms of what the general Wall Street guys think it's worth. Oh, I'm not convinced on this one. But if you like it, 48 must hold. Okay, I think I've caught up with those guys. Thank you very much to the 1,100 people still here following us through this open. Looks like we're relatively flat into the open overall. It's mostly just Bitcoin and the cryptos kind of selling off today. ADA back at 275. I'm sure there's plenty of people saying, buy the dip. I kind of feel like ADA might have a little bit more of a sell-off here on it. Look at the 250 structure. For ADA, 250 would be a pretty key psychological zone. Previous resistance high. Little bit of stuff around here with long leg doji. That would be a cool zone to check out. And of the big stocks, still just really end phase. Man, that snowflake shakeout was massive. I actually must admit I clipped here 274. Oh well. Move on to the next one. And I wanted to check TDOC. TDOC kind of actually almost activated. So don't sleep on TDOC. It's coming back. Everyone hates it. Fully hates it right now. I want to see this level hold again. But it's getting close, guys. Check out the weekly. Look at this. You know why I like this stock? It's all down to this weekly. Rejection, 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 rejection. Let's get that follow through. There is a lot of potential in this stock, guys. It's a hideous demon. I understand. People hate it. But we mustn't forget that we're getting March 20 price with a business that isn't exactly epically bad. And it's 57% down, 53% down from its peak. Gareth Evans says, buy the dip always works until it doesn't. Just depends. If you buy the dip on an index, you're probably going to be correct, hey? At some point, you're going to be like, stupid bears, I'm right. If you buy the dip on a hideous penny stonk, you might lose all your money. Rocktopus 306, Canadian $10. Hey, Tom, sorry I haven't been around. No worries, man. That's good. Too busy finding gold. Much love from Newfoundland. Does that mean you're like literally searching for golden rivers and stuff, man? That's pretty cool. I want to do that. I don't know why. I was watching this thing where you go to like Tasmania, which is a place in Australia. You go to like some river, and then you cut gold off the side of the rocks. Sounds pretty good to me. Scott Morgan says snow equals pretty good bounce back. Yeah, that was a phenomenal move. Phenomenal move. TDOC head and shoulders. What time frame, man? You mean this? Left shoulder, head, right shoulder. I don't really put too much stock in the bearish side of head and shoulders. The idea of a head and shoulder is it should be at the end of a trend. So if you had like a bullish move like this, and then you had, a head and shoulders like that, and it sold off, I'll pay attention to that one, but not inside a trend when it was already down. I just remember selling a stock or selling stocks in general is incredibly hard. Buying stocks is incredibly easy. It is a market that is centered around you purchasing and it going up over time. So once you understand that, you should actually almost always be a big bull. Very rarely do you actually have to be a nasty bear. Baba up 6 now. JD up 11.46, right at the resistance. Huge moves on the Chinese stonks, but they're still so far down. Would I FOMO these levels? No. If you're in them, congratulations. Roblox was another one that I saw that looks pretty decent. Forgot to mention this. I actually had it drawn up. Big rejections. It doesn't fit my criteria. It's too new. I hate IPOs or whatever this was. But nice weekly rejection. Bullish closure could be incoming. And Kathy Wood and the apostles like to buy it quite a lot. Let's have a look at NEO for Michael Koo. Up 3.5%. Surprised it's not up more. Nothing for me, but this is the key resistance supports area. Breaks closed above here. You should see some follow through 45, the next area. Francis Egan says, I'm still in Barber at 219. So good luck, Francis. We want you to make money. Colin Iverson says, watch Aussie Gold Hunters on TV. I've watched it. The guys from in Melbourne, they found like a big nugget, I think. Alberto says, always work with undervalued companies with great fundamentals. Asked to Warren Buffett and Peter Lynch. I feel like nowadays, it still works, but value definitely has not been as good as, they obviously look at great fundamentals now, but they've been notoriously big at looking at other sectors. All you really need to do is go find the best tech, the best tech, the best bio, the best whatever you think is the next generational shift. And if you monitor it, you should be able to do all right, hey? Then we've got Mitchell Miller. Wow, $20. Thank you very much, Mitchell Miller. Give you a clap for that. Let's give him a clap, guys. Thank you very much. Hey, Tom, you're still the best of the best. Thanks, man. I have $84 calls on Roblox. Should I expect a retest of 84 in the short term after the break of the downtrend? Roblox $84 calls, my man. Straight calls. You really want to close above 87.69. I don't blame you for having calls around here. I think some nice solid technicals are appearing. Good structural base, big trade here, obviously with volume. You're looking for it to get above 88. Should you expect a retest back? If it closes above here, no, you would be hoping for a massive move up to that 92 zone. You don't want to retest if it closed above 88. But you need it to close above there. Above there, 92, highly statistically likely it moves to that zone. Let's have a look at the algo flow so far for you, sir. Cool, Roblox one. It's being matched at this stage. And flow heat map. Let's have a look at Roblox. Yeah, I don't think I can get the market for that one. So I do like the 88 closure above to the 92. The structure's there. The weekly rejection is there with that big bull wick, which is probably why you bought this stock or why you bought the call. Check out the IV rank. Might be something you want to do. If the IV, let's say it goes crazy on one day, might be worthwhile scalp and taking a bit of that scale off in the call, just because the IV will make the call worth so much money. If you have a spread, obviously IV days, not necessarily as good to take off. Good luck, sir. We've got Roctopus 306, Canadian $5, soil sampling, prospecting, trenching, drilling, gold exploration. Wow. I've got a sick beard growing. Well, that's really the real deal there. I don't know if I want to do all of that. I just want the idea of just, finding the gold, man. All the prep sounds crazy. Just got to find it. Just go there, find it. I'm more of the Sovereign Hill kind of person. Anyone in Australia will know what I'm talking about there. Go to the river. They throw some nuggets in it. You do a bit of panning. You get the gold. By the way, if you like gold shows, I watch, what is this thing? Bering Sea Gold. It is so trashy, but for some reason I enjoy it. It's like how I have this weird addiction to watching Deadliest Catch. I don't know why, but I do. Does NVIDIA have more Romo to run coming in from James Bunch? NVIDIA hit our 220 target yesterday. There's so many options on it. It needs to keep the hype. I feel like the hype is being spread throughout lots of stocks. Like if you click here on the hype, let's have a look how many stocks are hyped right now hard. 220, very nice for Nvidia. Are you looking at today or are you looking at a few days' time? NVDA. Currently, Nasty Algo's selling Nvidia today. Nasty Algo's selling it. Kim Lim says, Tom, have you done CRM? No, I haven't done CRM. But you do know I like CRM, Kim. Look at it go. The boomer stock of all. This is like the boomer tech stock. The boomer tech stock. Still looks good, bud. 270. Let's go. 270. Nothing really wrong with it. 266 first issue, but I would like a 270 out of it. Look, I have this held for actually a long time. I'm not selling CRM. I have this ridiculous stock. I bought it here. What is it up? Probably not that good. 20 something %. This is one of those ones that I just feel comfortable with it. You know, I just feel like it's dominating its own little thing. It's doing its thing. Leave it there. Come back in 5 years and have a look how it's gone. That's kind of my feeling. But TA recently has had the trade in it. ATX mised $5. Could you have a look at B Pro and Q on the QCoin exchange, please? Sure. While I'm having a look at coins, let me have a look at my crappy coin. I'm down, guys. No, this is just some random IPO on dot. ATX mised B Pro. Okay. Does it matter which? Wait, B Pro, was that on the QCoin? Yeah, QCoin exchange. Nice closure. Good rally into where it should have gone to, which is about right. I think we obviously had a level at 0.18. Where's it stopped? 0.176. Nasty. Go the weekly. Really rallied off nothing, this one. Go to the 1 hour chart, 2 hour chart. Bloody hell, it didn't even follow anything on the way up. It was just like, whoa, where are we? Whoa, yeah. Okay, you want it to bounce here, man. It needs to bounce here because you've got previous resistance, 20 moving average 2 hour. You need support here. So ideally it buys up to 0.52. If it goes back up to this level, you would think it actually smashes through that zone. It's not the best, but it's not something I would be scared of. It depends what your plan is. If you're in at leverage and you want to get out, then this is where you need it to turn around. If you're in it for the long haul, I mean, you're not seeing any weakness here. Daily 20 is the level you've got to hope it holds up above. And even if it comes back down to this zone, that's just traditional of most cryptos. So it's at support right now, I feel, on the smaller time frame. Then we've got Jason Lindsay, $4.99. Has Exus put in a double bottom? At what level would you take profits? Okay, let's have a look at Exus. Exact Sciences. Nice double bottom, man. Yep, I can see it totally. Coming off good support. Beautiful double bottom. Hopefully you were patient. Nice little initial buy weeks as well. Volume. Oh, nice spot, bro. Yep, volume was good all the way down also. Higher than over here. No one wanted it over here. The volume has improved. That's nice. 4 hour. Cool. 2 hour. Nice. 2 hour 20. Bounced through that. So it's got that first trend line repair we always talk about. Really did repair itself there. Got above the 20. Formed a nice channel base. That's the type of accumulation you want, guys. And you could have smooth sailing for quite a lot here. Daily 20 and first test. So $100 is your first test. I wouldn't be surprised it sells off a little bit here. And once you bust that, if you do, you've got your next level here at around 107. So yeah, around this 100 is something I would usually consider scaling if I only had a trade plan. I'd scale some. Then if it busts through, I'd probably scale back in. And then I'd take off here. Or scale back out. You know what I mean? You're scaling all the time. Scale in, scale out when it goes past a level. But these are the two levels. Good luck, and thank you very much for the donation. David Nardin says, did Amazon break into the next level without accumulation? Have a look at our Amazon chart. 0.51% up. Nah, it hasn't done anything yet. So we've got our longer term trend line. We've got our first support here that we had yesterday. It's bounced up, hit the daily 200. It's a point of decision for it. So the markets are fairly boring here. They're having a bit of a breather. Be a little bit careful into the middle of the session. I guess that would be something I would look at. Look at the 1 hour chart. Look at how it's bouncing around and hitting off levels. Of course, watch the QQQ. The most important session here. 372 is the zone. Check that out in the small time frames if you're day trading it or whatever you're doing. And yeah, good luck, everybody. We'll see you tomorrow for another live stream, as always. We'll do this one for Jan because he's a member. I know there's other members there. Sorry if I miss your ones, guys. Jan Lupo, hi, Tom. Can you check out Futu? Seems to have broken out of the downtrend today. Let's have a quick look at Futu for you. Haley? By the way, guys, I'll be talking crypto on Ticker News on Thursday, I think. I don't know what the topic is, but I assume it's something to do with crypto. If you want to tune in, you can do that about 11:45, probably 11:30 in the morning AEST. Daily here, not quite broken out yet, but a great level to look at. 98. 4 hour. Yeah, just a little bit more, man. Nice closure above here, though, would be sweet. I'll bring it on the list for tomorrow's market. Very nice. End phase. Beautiful. Oh, yeah. All right, guys. I'm having a good night. Catch everybody. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye for now. Thank you very much, end phase. Bye, guys.